Remember I showed you guys those double bevel broad axes in the last video? Forgot about this one that I actually use. And just quick demonstration with it before we show you some other stuff. This is a hewer through and through because huge flat bit. And if you want the measurements on this bad boy, it's about 6 3/4 inches on the bit from toe to heel. If you don't know what those are, this is the heel, this is the toe. Um, I want to show you a few other things as well. I know that wasn't really a demonstration, but this isn't going to be one of those videos. So this is another broad axe, or this is really a broad hatchet or a hewing hatchet. It's also double bevel. This is a really cool one um, with the very pronounced two-piece arrangement here. I can't really tell if it's inlaid or overlaid. It's very thin. Can't really tell. But look at how this is, and look at how this Spear and Jackson Kent pattern is. Very tiny. This has got to be a pound or less. And similar profile. And it has the lugs or ears on the top and the bottom, which is not very common for an American axe, other than a broad axe or a broad hatchet. I don't know if they call them broad hatchets, but something unfortunate about this is bent in. The top of this ear or lug is bent inwards a little bit. It happens. You could fix it, but I'm not too good at that. This is the only Kent pattern I actually own, and it's a Spear and Jackson. Very cool. This is, I think, the handle it came on. I mean, look at the wedge popping out. Not perfect. Maybe not. I don't know. What do you guys think? Original handle? Looks like there was a sticker on it. Maybe two stickers. That looks like the price. That looks like a pricing sticker. This looks like branding. As you can see, the grain orientation means absolutely almost nothing on a hatchet, but especially when the handle is pretty straight. So you can see the growth goes pretty much all the way up except for here, here. That's pretty much it. There's a little bit of run out, but it doesn't matter. It's a hatchet, guys. You can even use like softwood for some hatchets if you're careful. I wouldn't recommend it for beginners, but experimentation is not too crazy for other people. Here is let's see, this is a Boy Scouts of America. Boy Scouts of America, plum, genuine plum. So what does this mean? It's a little newer. Look at this cool handle though. Cool paint on it. I believe this has some, I forget what it's called, when you could see the signature of the original owner. I forget what that's called, but it does add value to a piece. Certainly adds value that you know who owned this, they cared about it so much they put their initials on it, or someone put their initials on it for them. You know, like when you have a lunchbox when you're a little kid, your mommy puts your name and your name and your first and last name on it. So it's kind of like this. And look at the scroll end. So this is one of my favorite things about plum, is that some of these handles have a rounded uh, palm swell. It's not a fawn's foot. It's called a scroll end. And it's a really cool little handle. And I'll definitely copy this for some stuff. Let's see what else I got here. Oh yeah, we got another plum Boy Scouts of America. This one's a permabond, so this one's newer, but it has the profile of an older one. It's interesting. It's fat. It is worn. You can see that it's worn in the toe, right here, up here. But also a strange handle. It was there was a lot of splitting back here, and I had to remove it, so you can see that it's kind of fresh wood. Excuse me, fresh wood. It was very strange. I haven't really come across another plum handle like this. Maybe it's the 80s. Maybe it's the 90s. Who knows? When did Plum stop making Boy Scout stuff? Here's I guess this will be for rice. One of those rice scooper things, kind of like a spatula, but for rice. It's got some spalting on it, so it's very nice. I think this is that cottonwood I've been splitting a lot. There we go. Really cool, isn't it? One of the cooler parts of spalting is the sides for some reason. Very, very cool to me. And I just saw someone, I'm never going to remember what it was from, but it was on Instagram, and the spalting was super, super thick on the sides, and I thought that was so cool. One thing I forgot to show you with this one, hold on, I'll have to find it. This is a Plum Signature. I believe this is called the take-up screw. And this goes in to that hole right there. And it's just like a conical wedge, but different style. So it's literally just a screw that tapers from a thin bottom to a thicker top. Isn't that cool? And this is something that supposedly is not extremely common anymore. So kind of worth something. Probably like not a lot. You know how like people say this nickel is worth a lot? It's worth $2 instead of 5 cents. It's like I'm gonna have to have 9,000 of these for it to matter. Yeah, 9,000 take-up screws. You are good to go. Let's see. What else I want to show you guys? Oh, I know what I want to show you guys. So this is all. These are all the things that I've used to smash wedges down. This is what I started using. Actually, you know what? This is what I first used. Is a True Temper Tommy Axe pole. I used this to bang the wedges because it was a long face, so I thought maybe it wouldn't crack the wedges bad because it had more contact with the wedge. I stopped using that, and I found this bad boy. I think it's an Atha. This is a blacksmithing tool through and through. I mean, look at it. Very strange for me to use this. So once again, I thought, oh, that's a little bit longer of a face. Then I'd say I downgraded. You might have seen this in a video. I probably deleted it by now because it stunk. I put leather on this so I could use this at night. It didn't dampen the sound. But yeah, this was the last hammer I used for seating wedges. I don't have it anymore. There was a different mallet that I made. It broke. But this is what I use now. And if you watch that video, how to fit a thick wedge in your hatchet axe handle, this is what I use. I use this all the time, every time pretty much, to seat a wedge. And you'd think, oh, you need more weight than that. No, this is a pound, and it's plenty. It's big, big face. It's not going to damage the wedge as much, hopefully. And then this is something I've been using for my fro. Let's see, where's my fro? I got stuff all around. My shop is a little messy. I don't even know if you can call it a shop if it's this messy. This is Lionel Messy. So yeah, I've been using this for the fro just because I've been lazy and I haven't brought my kind of cudgel in, or whatever they call those things, the big baton action. This is my indoor fro, by the way. I've shown you guys my outdoor fro. Let me see if I can get this handle off. I want to show you guys this pin oak. Look at this. Hope you guys can get the contrast. So it's a little lighter than it would be if I put some oil on it right now, but look at the medullary rays. Hope you guys can see this. Oh, here we go. Isn't that cool? This was not a great piece of lumber, so I didn't feel bad about using it. Funny enough, I used it before it was completely dry, so look how far in it's gone. It's pretty far in there. Not ideal, but it works. And once again, this is another fro that I sharpened a little too much. I didn't really do much. It might have already been a little sharp. So I've mentioned it before. You can damage the edge of a fro really easily if you make the apex a little too keen. So just be careful. You can never put it back. You'll have to either, if you care enough, you'd have to bring the edge back, kind of file it down and flatten the apex, which you don't want to have to do that. You don't want to waste material on anything. So just be careful when it comes to that sort of thing. What else do I want to show you guys? Oh, I know what I want to show you guys. Oh yeah. Let's see. Here's a piece of scrap. So remember I showed you guys the machete, the Tramontina machete? This is the first, I'd say this is the first thing I had for timber. And it was not, I didn't realize how awful it was. I think it's a Kershaw Camp 10. It might be a 12. They were like $30 or something back when I got it. And this was when I was paying way too much attention to guys that were into bushcraft, and they didn't know much about this stuff. They didn't know about notching and stuff. But I resharpened this recently to try it out because I thought that Tramontina actually worked pretty well. The edge was not terrible for working wood compared to a hatchet. It's set up well. And I thinned this edge a tiny bit, and just look how thin this piece of wood is, right? Oh, you know what? It's not working too bad. It doesn't look terrible, but trust me, this is bad. I thinned this edge. Ow, I just hit my hand on the fucking... Watch this. I am really working. I have to do a lot of work for that to actually pay off. So this is, oh boy. So this is not even sharpened. This barely has an apex. Let's see the difference. That's a sharp machete compared to an axe, I mean a broad axe without an apex. I mean, this is dull. Look. I'm pushing on it. It does not have an apex. I mean, if I could figure out how to show you guys, it should have a bit of reflection. Let's see something with a little bit more of an edge. Where is it? Here it is. Honestly, this does need sharpening here. Let's at least, oh, here we go. Here we go. This is a little sharp. This is honed up a tiny bit. We'll do our due diligence though. This is just a little piece of leather. I put on some, what's it called, plywood. So you guys are wondering, how hard is it to hone? It takes seconds, guys. It's one of the easiest parts. Once you get accustomed to doing this sort of thing, honing is very simple. I mean, look at that. Look at the difference. And because you put a honed edge on it, it's a relatively smooth surface where you work. The more honed an edge is, the more refined that apex is, the better the surface of your wood is. So it doesn't matter for an axe. An axe can be file sharpened, but when it comes to a hand plane or a carving instrument, not even this. This is really an impact tool. It is an impact tool. For impact tools, you don't need the sharpest of edges. But it does help to hone it a little bit, just to get a little bit better of a finish, you know. Hope you guys could see this. I'll try it with the machete now. Let's see. Let's see what this machete's got. I really was so disappointed after using the Tramontina. It's terrible. You know what? Maybe I just have to find the sweet spot. So maybe the belly right here is the sweet spot, but still, you do not want to use this as a carving tool. And now they advertise this as a heavy chopper. My God, for what? What is this for, guys? What is this for? People that live in timber country, there's no need for this. This is one of the most useless tools you could buy. If you think you're processing wood with this, you're so wrong. Because look here, look at this. The fucking hewing hatchet is shorter. I don't know if you guys could see, but the tip of this edge is so if you're trying to save space, you think, oh, I'm saving space, I'm saving weight. It's more than a pound. And with the sheath, it's a ton longer. A ton longer. Look at this. You think just because this little protrusion, oh, you're saving so much space? I don't agree with that. I think it's a silly thing to think that this makes any sense for people that are trying to work wood. For real. Let's go to a different hatchet. See the size difference. Look at this. Much bigger. Much longer. Look at that. Come on, guys. What are we doing? We're not educating each other. That's why I kind of wanted to bring this up. We are not helping each other out with stuff like this. I don't know what this is for. Can you guys tell me, what is this for? Vines, like thick 1-inch vines? When Kurt S. was using, I think he had a parang. I guess, is this a parang when it has that kind of recurve? Which, by the way, if you don't know how to sharpen, and you're using fine stones for a recurve, just use a file. It was a lot easier to sharpen this with a file. Yeah, when Kurt S. was using his parang and his woods, that makes sense, maybe. You know, you wouldn't use a hatchet for that. That was the perfect scenario for something a little bit bigger than this. Still the same thickness, but you wouldn't want this length, you know, and there's not a lot of like handle length to make this a super super good chopper. Like if you go all the way down like that, that's not secure. And going all the way down, it just doesn't feel powerful. You would maybe even pick the Tramontina 18 over this for something like that. But Kurt S. had a cool machete he was using. I think his handle was longer. That makes sense. But this, I don't know. I don't think the guys that made this used it seriously. Like what did they design this for? I'd be interested to hear what they have to say about this. This is an old design though. Maybe they moved on to something else. But a little disappointed, to be honest. Like if we want to talk about wood processing, I think Bushcraft let me down a lot. I kind of felt like it wasn't a lot of skill building. At least the people I was watching at the time. Now maybe I've got some better influences. Like, let's be honest, guys. Skill Colt is a real Bushcraft guy. He's like a guy. If you're tanning hides, I mean, that's like homesteading mixed with Bushcraft, I'd say. But you know, that's a guy who you could tell he cares about the skills. His name is literally Skill Colt, not like Bush Colt. But yeah, I definitely was heavily influenced by Skill Colt, and it kind of branched out after that. I guess I found his videos maybe 4 or 5 years ago, maybe a little longer, maybe a little less, and that was a great influence on me when it came to this stuff. I watched that riving video he did so many times before I got to rive anything. And, you know, it was like, you still have to do it. You're not going to like know everything just from watching a video. You still have to try it out and you'll be like, "Oh, I didn't understand that before. I didn't know that." Even if the person gives you good advice, you still got to try it because it won't be in your brain really until you do it and repeat it. But anyway, just my thoughts on some stuff and some cool stuff that I've come across. So thanks for watching and goodbye.